Great. First of all, thank you. I'm really glad to be part in the digital situation. It's a digital lunch for me, but I'm really happy to share the thing that we are doing from Chile. I'm Loreto Acevedo. I'm from Indimin, which is a 2 years Chilean technological startup. And we have been working in a smart mining coach value proposition. And I hope to explain you better the thing that we are doing during all the presentation. We are working in the labor productivity challenge, and we were wondering a lot why it's too difficult to change the curve of labor productivity, increasing the production, not only reducing the cost, but working in mining, it's hard. We are working in isolate in a repetitive task, and it's quite risky. I have two pictures there that really strong for the Chilean mining industry with the 33 miners that we were catch inside of the mine a couple of years ago. And people and all this industry today depends on the highly on people. But I would like to share with you why is this important to me. Let's present myself better. I'm the third generation of miner of my family. I'm the first woman. My grandfather worked in the biggest underground mining with a pig. And my dad gave his life for this industry, literally. So this is really strong to me because this is about people and this is about the legacy of the people inside of this industry. Everybody nowadays is thinking about automation, and it's cool and it's coming and it's great. But how can move from the human only activity to the machine only activity? What will happen in the meantime? Have you heard about human machine alliance? Where the humans enable machines, and after that, machine augment the human powers. We're working in this space with a smart mining coach. That I would like to, you can imagine this smart mining coach like a digital personal trainer designed to unlock elite performance of people, asset, and process. A smart mining coach is a digital coach powered by artificial intelligence models who help the operational leaders to predict the deviation of the productivity of their teams and offer some solution to close these gaps. Nowadays, we are working the loading and hauling process, and we have developed a smart mining coach for the shift manager, a smart mining coach for the GM. But how does it work? We are taking different sources of data. We are using the control production system data. We are using the condition sites of data, the human resources based data. And we develop these analytic models to predict the productivity of the teams, including some variables that they're not proper from the operational behavior. With our calculus, we have showed that the 60% of the productivity, it depends of this operational behavior, but the other 40%, it depends of the external conditions, for the site condition especially. And with these analytic models, we developed two seeds. One of these is the operator digital profile, and the other one, the productivity insight. With these two seeds, we are feeding this smart mining coach. I would like to tell the story that how are being working with our clients, because this Los Colorados from Cap Minería, it's a Chilean mining, the biggest iron ore mine in Chile. and SQM is one of the largest non-metallic mining global company also. They were the innovators. They decide to be the first and take the risk to run this innovation project with us. And for run this kind of project, we developed together a really collaborative and co-creative 4-stage process. We start with this immersion at baseline and forward with co-creation and setup. The third one is the kickoff, and the fourth one is the coaching and optimization. I will show you a couple of images and describe the things that we have been working together with the client to develop and the impact that we achieve. The immersion and baseline, it's really focused in the operational and people diagnosis. We know that all the mine sites are a world, properly a world, and we work with the leaders. We define where are the bottlenecks. We define together where are the which are the KPIs that we're going to measure and the baseline that they already have. And at the same time, we do a data assessment. Nowadays, the clients that we are working on, one of these clients is really like high technology, using data maturity, and the other one is the completely opposite way. And with the both of these clients, we are working and we build together the way that this smart mining coach can digitalize the information that they already have using in base of the personal productivity performance. The second stage, it's really important, the co-creation at the setup. Using innovation methodology, we prototype, we test with the user as many times as we could, with the main objective to get involved the main stakeholders and to be focused to the usability at the end of the day. We know that in the mining industry, we usually try to incorporate a lot of technology, but it's difficult to be sustained during the time. And this is the reason because we work hand by hand with the users, with the main stakeholders. The third stage is the kickoff. After 4 months, we launch the platform with all the teams. And the last stage is the coaching and optimization. This graph shows you some of the impact that we achieved with the first client, the data that I can share with you, of course. This is the graph, show you the loading performance, for example. In the y-axis, we have the tons per bucket, and the x-axis, we have the second per bucket. And each dot is a bucket, and the blue dots are without smart mining coach, and the orange one are after 2 months using a smart mining coach. We reduce the variability, we increase the productivity in 5%. That means for this mine company, 4 million tons. And just giving the right message from the leader in the right moment for the guys on site. Also, that I explained you before, we reduce the variability of these 2 KPIs. And the big surprise was that the best operator increased in 25% his productivity. Do you know that the automation promises the 30% of the increasement of the productivity? Nowadays, we're working with the team, with our clients, to how can move all these guys to the 25%. Also, we have been measuring these results during the times we launch in December, and the results are being sustainable. We're really proud of that, and this business case was included in a book, in an innovation case, successful innovation case book, which was launched in the ExpoMin, the last ExpoMin. That is the biggest workshop that we have in Latin America. to share with the other mining companies, to share with the other clients that it's possible. If you work in an open innovation way, in a collaborative way, with a little startup, you can achieve really good results, and you can create really good alliance between those. Okay, a smart mining coach that I explained you, it's a platform, and the main issue that it's a platform that go across to the different stakeholders, from the tactic vision operator through the strategy vision, with three main drivers. We start with the productivity. Nowadays, we are working the safety issues, measuring speeds, and also with the sustainability. We are working with this smart coach energy, that we are working in carbon emissions also. That it looks like the smart coach for shift manager, that you can see the different screens. We have the tools for manage the resources of the teams, with the targets, and also with this personalized digital profile of the guys that the shift manager has in charge. And in the right screen, the same way that Facebook recommend you what kind of articles you have to read in base of your past behavior, we suggest to the shift manager what he can do to close this gap for his team. This is the way the smart coach mind looks like, and we have different kind of visualization. In the left screen, we have this dynamic heat map inspired by the Formula One, that this is a smart visualization to recognize in which part of your path you are losing your productivity, and to take better decisions. Nowadays, we are working really strong to close this feedback loop, because we are already doing this smart scan. We are monitoring this personalized productivity insight. Also, we are develop this human-centered artificial intelligence to really understand the operation actors, so we can embed in our algorithm this user knowledge, this tacit knowledge. Most of the knowledge that is on site with the leaders is tacit knowledge. It's not written in any part, and we're working these prescriptions to propose some alternatives to close this gap in base of the resources and the way that the mine sites are working on, and measuring the impact of this decision, of this plan that you took to close this gap, to measure the return of this investment that you did, and in this way, if we achieve to close this feedback loop, this algorithm will be really more intelligent. Nowadays, we are achieving some 90% of accuracy, and you always have someone whispering you in your ears, helping you to try to achieve the goals when you are on site. This is the main purpose of a smart mining coach, to unlock the performance of the guys to the operator, to the shift manager, to the GM, giving some productivity insight, offering some options, the better option to close these gaps in base of the knowledge that the mine site has, in base of the resources that the mine site has also. That I explained you a little bit early. We are focused today on the loading and hauling process, but the concept is really transferable to the other parts of the value chain. Today, we receive a really good news that we are going to start with the Smart Coach plant during the next week, and also the Smart Coach Underground with another client. we have been this is the situation that Nathan knew me in the PDAC, because we were in Canada and Australia, because these countries are really like the example in the way that we are using the technology in the industry. And we were to ask, but what about this value proposition? That it makes sense for you, that you are thinking automation for the next year. And the feedback, it was really good, because we were thinking about people. We were thinking about how can improve the performance that the people that we already have on site, how can move from this people focus production to this autonomy. What happened in between? Last slide. This is my team. I'm Loreto, the first one. I've been working in mining industry for more than 12 years. Really proud of that, of course. Álvaro Diaz is the other co-founder. He has also more than 10 years of experience in digital services for this industry. We have our Chilean data scientists preparing the MIT, and the other part of the team were really strong in the innovation methodology with the cognition, consumer behavior, and training of the guys on site. We have been recognized also in Chile with the National Innovation Prize last year that we were finalists. But as I told you, the main purpose that we have is to create more opportunities, to give more chance to improve the performance that we already have with the guys on site. That at least in Chile, they are not receiving feedback enough, not giving the opportunity to improve. And with the technology, this is the technology in service to the people. The AI is an excuse to help the guys on site. This is our main objective. Thank you for listening. I hope I can be clear or enough clear. This is my contact, and if you have any doubt, please write direct to me, or you have the opportunity to ask to Heather Gamble, who is represent me there with you in Toronto today.
Where's Heather? Heather's in the back over there. Where's Casper? If anyone has a question, she would probably only hear you. Would that work, or okay, or through here? Casper, so if we have a question, we can use the mic in the back, or the person would have to come up here. I'm not sure she would pick up. Does anyone have any? You sure? Does anyone have any questions or comments for Loreto? By the way, we owe you a sandwich, Loreto. We're all eating.
It's okay. Next time.
Carol has one. Hang on, we have a question. Here you go.
Just one quick question. Just part of the sharing of information, there's a human element in sharing this kind of information, being very expertise in certain areas. And when we have problems on site, we fix them. We're very capable of doing those kind of things. But sharing that knowledge, is there something in the program to encourage people to share it? Is there something, like a special way to? Because I think some people can be timid or not really wanting to share it. I think that's a common problem, just on the human element of that. So I was just trying to.
Do you mean to see how they rank against another operator?
Yeah.
Nathan, could you repeat me, because I didn't get it properly?
I'm just looking at the program and.
Oh, sorry, people. I misunderstood. You might have to come up here.
Oh no.
Sorry.
So, if I understood it, some people might be reluctant to share, how they compare to other operators, or let's say how much information is shared with other operators versus to that person in particular, or versus the supervisor or general manager. Is there some people who are reluctant to see how they compare?
Today, we are working, the information only has the supervisor. He has allowed to see only their team and the main rules that they are using on site. It depends of the mine site, but they are not sharing between the supervisors the information. They are allowed to use only with their team to improve the performance of their team. The GM can see the information of the performance of each supervisor and their team.
So is there some gamification? Like, would a good operator get like 2 rainbows and a unicorn, or something?
Pot of gold.
Pot of gold, yeah.
Yep. Yep. This is the idea that we start like a operation project, and nowadays we are working with the human resources area, the corporate area, to try to align all these performance measuring with the incentives that they already have, because we are measuring nowadays. We are doing this feedback loop between the leaders and the guys each day. Also, they are being digitalized, and with this information, human resources area, corporate area, has a lot of opportunities to try to create some incentives or ways that he can recognize the guys on site.
Cheryl, did you want to follow up, or did you?
No, that's good.
Maybe it's easier if you come up here.
Or if you could just repeat
Sure.
the question.
Diana,
I don't
to
mind.
you.
Do they have any information from their experience that indicates what is the most productive automation to incorporate?
So do you have any information on, from your experience, on what is the best automation to incorporate at any particular mine? Like, for example, is it possible to run one part in the mine with and without, let's say, a particular technology or automation, and to see if it's doing anything? I guess there's an endless amount of testing you could do with this. That maybe
Yeah, I don't think that I have a special one. The thing that we were researching and asking to the big ones. This is one of the good things that when we was in Australia, we could talk with Rio Tinto, we could talk with who is the leading of automation, and Anglo also, and they were like it's worth it to move from manually to automation mining only if the size of the mine is over the 100 million tons, and we ask immediately that what time it should be take to move all the mines that they already are operating to the automation mood. And it was the manager of the automation area, and he told me that the next mines that we are going to open, that maybe they will in the developed countries will be automating, but in the third world countries, or in developing countries, it will take more than 10 or 15 years to move complete from the manually to the automation mines. This is the information that we have been asking, because we know that the space in between is a huge opportunity with the technology that are available for most of the guys on site, because the pricing of the technology is decreasing exponentially. And how can we use this technology to increase the capabilities that you have on site? Thinking about the automation, thinking about this roadmap. And the other discovery that we were really surprised, that maybe you know more than me about it, but today the autonomous vehicles, that they are not intelligence. They are programmed to follow a path, with different, of course, each day are more intelligence. But if you compare with autonomous vehicle from, I don't know, Uber or Google or this kind of, they are this kind of vehicle are more intelligent than the mining vehicles that we already have. And with this information, that if you prepare some algorithm with all the actions or the conditions that you can live day by day in your mind, you can train this brain in easy words, like you can train this brain and you can get put into these vehicles and to get more smarter also. I don't know that I know that maybe I didn't answer properly the question, but this is the knowledge that we have been taking from the overseas.
You should challenge the Australians, put their driverless trains that they've spent how many hundreds of millions against this your smart app, and let's see which one's better. So that would be
That could be really interesting.
there was another. Oh, yep.
Just curious about the.
Would you like me to translate?
Yes, please.
Okay.
The sustainability of this initiative. I noticed the time frame is a 2-month period for the data. Usually there's quick wins or quicker wins at the beginning.
Right.
What have they done any adjustments to sort of look at more maintaining so that people don't get fatigued with this process? Or
So the question was more about the sustainability. So, you have time frames of 2-3 months. Like in psychology, there's something called the Hawthorne effect, which shows that just the fact of somebody watching an operator, they will improve. And you could do that for several weeks or months, but after years and years, they just revert back to the original one. So, do you think this would be sustainable, or do you think these wins are just kind of in the short term?
do they adjust?
Or do you adjust the program over time where either people improve and you keep cranking it up, or you see some people aren't improving and either need more training or some other option. So it's more, the question's more about sustainability.
Yeah, we have been measured since December, and it's been sustainable. But we believe, and we are working with the supervisor to go further with this feedback loop, that if you receive this insight, productivity insight, what are you doing today? And we are digitalizing the way that they are managing this kind of situation to offer a good close gap actions to follow the impact of the decisions that they are taking on. But we really believe that it's not a technology issue. This is not like magical. The thing that smart mining code is allowed or is doing, it's open this channel of communication between leaders and the other part of the operators in this case. And with more communication, objective communication, they are being more close. And it's, I don't know, that we include in this smart mining coach the date of the birthday, for example, and it pop-ups. Today is the birthday of this guy. The supervisor usually are managing 40, 50 people, and it's really hard to become a leader, to become a coach of these 50 people that they are isolating, working inside of their trucks. And the only way that they are using for communicate, or not the only, but the main way, that is the radio today. And we strongly believe that this technology, it's opened this channel to communication between the guys, and this is the reason, because it's been sustainable. The results of this smart mining coach, not for the platform itself. It's the impact of the platform to help the supervisor to manage their team.
Do you think you could use this with, let's say, wearable sensors? Well, So if you're seeing somebody's getting tired or whatever, the supervisor would know that and then can communicate to this person, well, they need a nap, or there could be some unsafe activity that could be predicted. So have you thought about that, combining it with other sensors?
Definitely. We know that today the focus of the productivity it's in the assets, it's in the equipment, that the control production system is like how many tons they are moving, but we changed the focus in the person who is driving these trucks, for example. And with this person, today we are taking data from the sensor of the conditions, but we would like to add data from himself. And the wearables, or even the iPhone today, you can see your the progress of your sleep, or you can see other kind of information that it's really related with the performance that this repetitive, isolate work they have on site. Definitely, it's the one of the things that we want to add also in this algorithm, this information.
Or the equipment, maybe the person's working slower because the equipment's starting to break. There's lots of reasons.
Yeah.
Hang on.
One other question. Has this been married to one of the mine simulation programs? So you go from training to actual feedback.
Okay. So has your technology been married to other technologies, so you can go from training operators to actual production data and
Particularly the mine simulation.
particularly in mine simulation?
We love to. To date, with the clients that we are working on, they have some suppliers from simulators, and it will be really amazing that if we can rise the deviation, and after that we can take the data from the simulator and to measure the impact that the training that they already have. Today we are doing that by papers, not digitalizing. We are doing like, this is the insight with this. If you repeat this same mistake, for example, 5 times per shift, right? It's an example. You are going to suggest to the shift manager or the supervisor to send to the simulator for train A, for example. And with the information after that of the simulator, we are putting inside of the smart mining code to say, okay, he was trained in this model, and are we going to see if he really increased the productivity or not? This is the ROI. I don't know what is the name in English, but we really like, it will really great if we can be involved.
Okay, I think we'll have to switch speakers. So Loreto, let's join me. I don't know if you'll hear the applause, but
Yeah, thank you.